Alrighty. Let me get to my playlist here. I hit to go prematurely. There we go. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. So I haven't streamed in a couple of weeks because I was working on wrapping up shape keys, and then I went on vacation for a week and just got back this last weekend, and I'm getting back into the swing of things. So if you had watched, I finally had success. We were finally getting shape keys going, which is exciting. So this stream I'm just going to be piddling around and trying to get my actual use case in. I might end up spending most of the stream just trying to solve this problem. I'm going to pray to the stream gods and get at least one person to watch me that knows how to solve this problem, because ChatGPT has failed me. Stack Overflow failed me many years ago with this specific problem. It's been a problem that's persisted forever. And I can show that to you now. So anyway, I'm going to try to fix this problem. And then if I can't, I'll just switch over to doing the final cleanup and adding some unit tests and all that. And hopefully either today or tomorrow actually merging in all of my shape key changes. And then after that, we're going to actually start game dev. I've done a lot of a game design document. I'm mostly done with that for a game that I'm going to be working on. And there's still a lot of work to be done in the engine, but there always will be. So I'm just going to start on the game. And if I run into anything, then I'll fix it when I run into it. So here is the problem that I've been having. This is a girl with an animation that I took from a new site. Let me see if I can remember what it was, because it's actually pretty cool. I think I bookmarked it. Okay, the website is called Real Illusion or Reallusion, actorcore.realillusion.com, and it seems to be a similar site to Mixamo, and I've exhausted all the Mixamo animations. I know how to animate, but I cannot animate well, so I hopefully can get away with just either buying really cheap animations from Reallusion or clobbering stuff together that looks... For the simple stuff, I can clobber it together myself. But I'd say for sure, out of all the various stages of game dev, programming and concept art and the game design document and the actual game development, and what else do you have? You have 3D modeling, texturing. Out of all of it, animation is the hardest to get right. So anyway, I took this gal off of Reallusion and I gave her a bob, because I haven't figured out how to do hair yet, so I just extruded Roberta's using a rough hairline, so she's got a helmet haircut. And then I use this Simply Cloth Studio, which just kind of gives you a nice interface over Blender's cloth physics, and it has a bunch of pre-made assets you can buy too. So I did that. And so I have this lady's dress, and I'm getting practice enough with shape keys and stitching it all together that I have this exactly how I want it. So if she twirls, the dress looks great, except for this leg. I'll fix that right now. Oh, and I am listening to Nudes Nudes Guitar on YouTube. I have permission to stream them, and there's only 3 songs on there now, but they're all fantastic. So there's going to be a lot of repetition today, but they're all wonderful to listen to. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to... Oh, I'll just leave it for now because this is not my problem and I don't want to... I've fixed it about 3 times, and then every time my problem happens I have to refix. If you see the leg is sticking through the dress, I've already fixed that 3 times. And every time this problem that I'm about to explain to you occurs, I have to fix it again, so I'm not going to bother with that right now. So here's the problem. my animation is perfect. It's more or less exactly what I want. But I have this stupid problem. Let's go to object mode. Where everything looks fine because I've already applied all my transforms. So the dress has a location, rotation, and scale of exactly what I want it to be. Same with the armature, same with the mesh. So everything would be fine, you would think. But if I save it, whoa, and I export it as a GLTF, and watch what's going to happen here. It's just the act.
New world of efficiency.
Oh,
With
not an
Asana,
ad.
Automate workflows
Oh,
so
I
your team can have
didn't
less
plan for
follow-up.
that. Oops, I forgot to loop the playlist. 1 minute here. That's why there's an ad. Okay, that should be good. Oh, oops. Yeah, so this is what happens. I don't know what the nudity policies are, so I'm just going to like that. So horrible things happen, and it all has to do with this root bone on this armature. And all of a sudden it gets a negative X, and the mesh gets moved along with it. So the dress is in the right spot, but the body is not. And that happens as soon as I export, which I cannot figure out why, and I've been messing around with it, trying to get it to work. Have not yet succeeded, because this is what it looks like now. When we run the thing, there we go. So when we run the thing, you will see. Oh, this is actually one of the incarnations where I've been trying to adjust it manually. But we have a dress, and we have this girl, but they are not remotely in sync. So I will be desperately trying to solve this problem. Probably most of the stream, unless I give up and then I switch over to just cleaning up the source code. So it's probably pretty hard to see. If anyone has a Hail Mary and can tell me, essentially the problem can be distilled down to when I use Control A to apply the rotation, position, and scale of the armature. No matter how I try to do that, things go horribly wrong, and I believe that is the root of the problem that is manifesting when I try to export. But check out the save. Oh dear, you are not. Hold on a minute, technical difficulties here. Okay, I'm going to loop the playlist. Okay. This is kind of cool. Oops. I can swap between two different shape key animations. They look really similar, but they are different. That one just falls, and this one's more of a parachute. So cool. Okay, so back to this problem. They just aren't aligned. The scales are different. I think the rotations are different. The positions are different. Maybe the positions are the same, but that doesn't matter because the other two are wrong. So, but the problem is manifesting simply as either I can't, or both, I can't apply the scale or the transforms to the root bone or the armature without it screwing things up. And I also cannot export, which is really the bigger problem. Okay, so I was just... Where did I leave off? kind of out of ideas, but we'll just keep experimenting. Make this a little smaller here. First thing I'm going to try, I've tried this already, but I'm going to try applying the transforms to deltas. I don't think anything in here applies to me. Certainly not materials. I'm gonna try this one today. Nope. Okay. So the problem can also be seen here if I remove the armature from her and then hit it with an Alt-P, clear and keep transform. So now I've just unparented temporarily the mesh from the armature. So now, even though the scales and rotations and locations are already 1 and 0 and 0, if I try to apply them, what is happening? Because they're already 1 and 0. So it's going from 0.5 in the X to 0.4. And I don't understand why this is happening. This is the root of the problem. Because now watch, if I do it, then I scrub through. This is not the animation that I want. Ignore the dress because we're only whoa. Maybe we'll just hide her because I don't know what the nudity. Okay. 1 minute. know why looping playlists is not working. Anyway, that's a problem for a different day. So now I've applied the rotation trend, position, and scale. And now if I try and scrub through, the positions are going crazy. You know what I have not tried yet is what happens if I just find everyone where it's crazy and try to figure and delete that position. It seems to be only the position that's off. And the position would be in the Z because we're in Blender. Let's just delete it. Okay, no, that was not it. It's not the position of the root. Bring it back. Is it the Y? No. If I delete, I think the problem still, I think I tried this earlier, the problem still exists if I remove all the positions. You know, what if I try in pose mode here? So I just really think it's not the root bone that's causing the problem. What if we take everything but the root node? Problems I can't just, oops. Okay. If there's a way to get the positions from every one of these channels. No, that seems to be what I want. So I'm trying to figure out what... Oh, is it rotation? So if you look at that, look at the... What am I selected on right now? The base bone root. Okay, the base bone root is rotating in the Z. No, it's rotating in the W. Okay, what if I lock that? Is that how that works? Can I... What does this do? Try that. No, that's not what I wanted to. Are we on the hip right now? just delete you and then I script still. Okay, that's not it. Okay, it really isn't.
Hello.
Better go to my channel and make sure that my audio and such is working and get my chat up. Okay. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Hey, they get looped. Where is my chat? I would like to show it again. Where are you? Okay. Anyway. I think this root bone is causing all sorts of problems because when I tried to export as GLTF just the mesh, our mesh importer is failing because it's detecting that the total weights of the 4 bones that are influencing each vertex does not equal 1, but there's some kind of bug or something odd happening because I had already normalized the weights, so something funky is happening for sure with this mesh, but I just have a theory that it has to do with this root bone, but I don't really know what to do about it. Okay, let's see what... doesn't seem to accurately reflect what's happening. So if you look at the Z, it's really not changing nearly enough to reflect that. So that means, what's our bone hierarchy look like? Because the root bone is not changing. So what's the next bone in the hierarchy? base hip. Maybe the hip's causing all the problems. No, it's... Oh, the Y is changing a lot. A lot. Why is the Y changing so much? And why does my poor model think that Y is up? We're in Blenderland. Y is definitely not up. Okay, that Y seems about right. So, okay, what if I just, for the hip, clear you out? Let's try that. Oh, oh! Was this the hip bone the whole time? That's exciting. Maybe we figured it out. There was just one wonky bone. Okay, but that doesn't look quite right. Let's go back to the timeline. Oops. Oh, goodness sake. Okay, now. We can re-enable the lady and reparent the armature if I removed it. I've removed it so many times that I don't actually remember if I removed it this time or not. Okay, yes I have. So, we go rest position, get out of pose, 1 and 2, Control P, back to pose. Okay, let's try that. Oh no, the dress is terrible. Okay, yeah, I needed that hip bone, dang. Shoot. Well, maybe I've deleted other ones. I'm gonna go, now that I think I might, now that we know the hip bone is probably the problem. I'm gonna open up my save file and try just to prevent the hip bone from going crazy. I feel like this is not the way. There's got to be a better way than what I'm doing. Okay, so this file is looking good. Still has the same problem when I go to export. So, no, let's do that all again. Let's go to modifiers, get rid of the armature. Oh, goodness sake. Okay. We have unparented the armature. Now, if we try to apply scale, things get crazy. What if we, no, okay. I don't even know what this does. I suppose. Apply. Okay, the transforms stored. That's exactly. Okay, what was that? Let's try it again. That's my problem. How did I do that? We are going to get to our old friend Google and or ChatGPT. Oh no, come back please. Where's the logs? Okay. Let's get to our old friend Google here. Okay, this person says, PTE Jack from 2019 says, the answer is in pose mode. Pose the model to the desired position. Okay, we start at 15. Let's go here. Okay. And then I don't think this is answering what I need. And then no, I don't think this is it. Okay. No. You know what? I'm setting this aside for now to move back into cleaning up the code and getting ready for pushing or merging. That's got to be the most frustrating problem. So if anyone is watching this and they know when you import a model from something like Mixamo or a model and an animation, or just an animation and an armature from a site like Mixamo or Reallusion, and the scaling is bad on the armature, but such that applying the scaling will break the animation. How do you fix it? I've run into that problem for years, and I've just kind of sidestepped it or just dealt with it by not applying the scale or the transform and then just adjusting things on the engine side, but I really don't want to have to do that because it's a pain. Okay, so I realized that we don't actually, I had initially implemented this so that shape key animations can be on either a skinned mesh, an animated mesh component, or a static mesh component. But thinking it through, it doesn't make any sense for it to be on a skinned mesh component. So I have to go and clean that up a little bit. Because if you think about it, a skinned mesh already has animation data, and all a shape key is it's just a copy of the mesh in a certain position, or with the vertices in a certain way. So that's just going to overwrite whatever skeletal animation I have. I think I was thinking that initially because I was imagining in this example, oh God, goodness sake. In this example, I was thinking, oh well, the girl is animated, so the positions of the dress are going to be skinned, and then like the folds are going to be shape keys. But that's not actually right. Everything about the dress itself is shape keys. So we're going to go and clean it up a little bit. Don't think this part will take too long. So in all of our skinned shaders, we just want to pull this stuff out. So this just gets the metadata index from the instance buffer, checks to see if it's valid, and then calls apply shape key animation. So we don't need that. Then we also don't need the shape key animation. What are these called? I'm calling them helper files. Okay, then we don't need the texture sampler. We don't need any of that. So we just have to do that for each of the three. And then let's make sure pose is still has the same amount of, okay. Yep, that's all good. And I just need to do that for my other two skinned shaders. And we have one more. Oh. I gave up on trying to shuffle the playlist and figure out why YouTube isn't shuffling it. I can't have more problems to solve today. I'm so annoyed at this shape key, or the armature parenting, armature scaling. I don't know even what you call it. The applying transforms to an armature problem. It's been plaguing me for a long time. And I thought what's really bugging me is that I thought I had solved it. I finally had figured out that because originally this was, the armature was at 0.001, which I don't exactly know why, but when you're going from FBX, sometimes things are off by a factor of 100. I'm assuming it's because of the units, but anywho. So what I wanted to do was multiply or set the scale to be 1 so that we're not trying to multiply by 100 when we export it into our game engine, because it's going to be either tiny or massive. I don't even want to think about which right now. So, oh yeah, so I was able to come in here to Control A and apply transforms to deltas. And that did not cause any immediate problems, but it did introduce the popping on export problem. But the hope that I had after thinking that was going to solve my problem just to be crushed was pretty terrible. Okay, so let's compile the shaders. Okay. Then the last thing I need to do to get remove the capability for skin meshes to support shape key animations is move this out of the mesh interface into the static mesh. And we don't even have an animation controller. Then that all looks fine. Now in skinned mesh, we have to get rid of the shape key animation parameter. And we don't, okay, so mesh base doesn't need the shape key parameter anymore. Static mesh, or does it? What does it do with it? Oh, it does, okay. So mesh base still needs that. It defaults to null asset ID if it's not set. And now, how's it a default parameter? What's the, oh, okay. Just do this. I think that's it. So in mesh base, we don't have a shape key animation controller. I put that as a to-do because I was struggling with it. I was trying to code on this dinky laptop on vacation after being really, really tired, and I'd get maybe 5 minutes of struggling to try to get the to create a controller that can transition between shape key animation states more gracefully than how I hacked it in. But I gave up and decided to hack it in for now. Because realistically, I think I've reached the edge of it's time to work on a game, and I don't need to go tinkering on adding features that I could make use of, but I don't need them. And they would probably take a long time to do. Okay, set shape key animation, that's in mesh base. Who is... Oh, do we still need it in there? Okay, we do still need it in there. But I only want... No, we don't want it here. We want it in... here. am I done? Oh geez, I have not committed in a while. 74 is a lot. What did I clobber out of you that I shouldn't have? Oh, yeah, I got rid of the skeletal animation ID. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, you can already get the mesh context. Okay, that's what I'll do. Then, what are we trying to do here? I wonder how. So the problem is I need to be able to access members of the base class that I really don't want to expose in only one of the children classes and not both. You know, sometimes you're just walking on top of the world, and other times you can't get or scaling to apply, and you can't figure out inheritance problems. So I don't want this to be exposed to skinned mesh. Why is this so hard today? So, I mean, it seems worse to expose the subsystem to, or maybe that's okay because it's the mesh class and it's the mesh subsystem. So if I send it upwards to just protect it, I think that's actually fine. Maybe it's not the greatest, but I feel like it's the best option here. So what are you upset about? Oh, you should be fine. I don't really like that, but I think it's okay for now. Oh, context. What kind of context do you take? Oh, no, not the, oh, it's so many things. This is really gross. But I don't want skinned mesh to be able to access this set shape key animation. This is really gross. Okay. Let's see, can we still change our animations? We can. All right. Let's see where we left off with this. Good. Oh, I need to fix, yeah. Oops.